Well, good morning, everybody. We start the day with a wonderful new sample. Really something new and exciting. Um, and specifically, I must say, specifically exciting for me because it's one of the samples that will greatly enhance our political project. Which is something that is always in my mind. You know, the gradual replacement of inadequate or defunct terran life forms with more fit or properly evolved counterparts, of course, including Homo sapiens. So I'm very excited to present you our next sample, which will greatly benefit the political agenda. And of course, also it's of general interest to anyone. And I am speaking, of course, about the sample from the red plastic box. I prepared it about a week ago, something like that, together with several other samples. Here you have I mean, this is how it looked before it was sealed. So what we have here is, first of all, it is. I mean, first of all, the container is plastic, just plastic box that was that I used to mix oil colors with red, several red colors, red oil colors, which I use a lot. So it basically, it was, I mean, as always, it was red oil color, several of them with probably with liquid, or perhaps with a little bit of turpentine, but I guess probably with liquid or perhaps with both. But as a standard, I used liquid gelatin, and it's super toxic. But it's glossy. So, but it's already dried a little bit. It's pretty much dried. As opposed to what we had like in the black and white oil petri dishes, this one is thin. I mean, there isn't. I don't know if you can watch, but if you can see, but there isn't much like remnants. So it's spread very thin, very thin, and there is no liquid, or perhaps, I mean, maybe you can scratch maybe still just a tiny bit of liquid, but it's not like in the white and black ones that there was like substantial amount of liquid under the dried surface. So what I placed here in this sample is, okay, so I placed like a bunch of silicone, or actually it's not silicone, it's kind of a polymer that is called Super 7, the brand name is Super 7. I thought it's silicone, but I mean it's kind of, I'm not sure it's silicone. Anyway, it's a polymer with a goldish, it's when it's come out of the bottle, it's transparent, like white transparent, but for some reason, I mean, when it's out of all my samples that I had quite a few of this material just became golden with, after exposure to a little bit of oxygen, I guess. Because it's as I see it. I see it in all. Last week or so, I prepared several samples with this material because I wanted the Neros to work with silicone. I suspected they will be happy to work with silicone. Spoiler, they do. We'll see it in a bit. And for some reason it gets this all gold hue, color, and I don't know why. I guess it's a reaction with a chemical reaction with oxygen. So anyway, on the side I placed them like my semen. Pretty large sample of my semen, and I also placed a small amount of biological material in here from my mold box, mold can, which is in the balcony, and I have also I also I placed like a strip of sellotape of the thin black tape, and that was, I mean, the reason was for it covered both the semen and the, I mean, it's kind of a glue together the polymer. Let's call it silicone for now. The semen and the biological sample, and so, and like I wanted to, and I thought that maybe it would be, I mean, if the Neros can't find enough material, I mean, I didn't know for certain that they can use silicone, and I didn't know for certain that they can use the oil, and so I thought, okay, maybe, I mean, I know for certain they can use sellotape because we've seen it, I mean, that they mine it. So I placed the strip of sellotape. And when I opened the box now, I've seen that there is like a lot of action going on under the sellotape. Just adjacent to the sellotape, which is sticky, of course. So I decided, okay, why don't we just take a look? So I placed the sellotape as is on a glass slide. So it's kind of like the way it was before I bought. I mean, before I received all the proper glass cover. It's just, I mean, it's more like the way that I've done it until now, until very, very, very recently. I'll show you the slide. Maybe you can see the slide here. I mean, or we can just, I mean, wait a second, we just remove it and get it back. Okay, so we see just a little bit of the red oil material, because, as I said, it's very dry, so it didn't stick to the sellotape, which was, as you've seen, which were loosely sticked. I mean, I mean, I didn't want to stick it too strongly, because exactly for the reason that I wanted like space to I mean, under it. But what we can see here, I'm not sure it's like. I'm not sure that everyone sees that, is that, I mean, the Neros clearly use the silicone for, I mean, for their creations. I mean, they mine the silicone, and as they used to mine like the sellotape, and they did all sorts of stuff under the sellotape. So. The red oil was not really used here, but perhaps it was used as a raw material, but not like as not very not in a, I mean, not like it wasn't like the surface, like the medium, like the water, I mean, water or something like that, that was used. What was used instead was like either the sellotape itself, which is kind of medium, or the silicone. I think that the I mean, the red oil wasn't very used much. Perhaps I mean, the Neros also created stuff inside the red oil itself, and we can check this later. But first, let's take a look here. So it's gonna be very, very interesting. So let's do it. Okay, everyone is on board. My microscope smells like pea now, because I've used peas in part of it, not in this sample but in other samples, and now it smells like pea. I really don't like it. I need to clean the microscope. Can someone clean my microscope, because I don't do it very well, because it smells like pea now. The thing I do for science. Okay, we'll start with the normal, I mean, small magnification of 4 times 16. So here, the medium would be the cellotape itself, where everything is created. But part of the slide is covered with it looks like melted silicone, which is the medium in these parts. Just a second. Let me take the grip, the correct grip. Wow, we have many life forms here. Wow. So much stuff, so much stuff to look and to investigate. It's gonna take more than one video just to look at everything. Wow. And this of course is maximum magnification. Let's do, the minimum magnification, let's do a little bit more. Okay, so this is the red stain. Just a second. You see, there are so many life forms. This is the red stain, if I'm correct. There are two red stains, not stained like it's not stained. The slide is not stained. Red oil paint, I think. I'm not certain. So the gold. Okay, so no, I'm sorry. That wasn't the stain. Now we are entering the gold. The golden medium, which is the polymer. Let's do zoom out because it's a little bit difficult to see what's going on like this. So let's do zoom out to the initial zoom. Okay, that's better. Oh yes. So the gold, where you see gold this is the polymer. I'm not 100% sure, but it's almost obvious because the polymer was under the partly under the sellotape, and as you can expect, it covers parts of it. So this is the polymer, which is called, the brand name is Super 7, and I got it from the home, like Ace or Home Depot, when I asked for silicone. So they gave me this one, so I was sure it's silicone, but I'm not sure it's silicone because it's written polymer on the label. It is used, and here we see Neros. Wow, that's beautiful. Right? It really is. What is this? Looks like something like alien. Oh, okay, by definition it's alien, but yeah. As I said, I suspected, and this slide is of particular significance to the political agenda and political project, because I suspect that, I mean, perhaps I'm too much, I mean, convinced by, I mean, or I have like pre-assumption towards silicone because I like women with big breasts. I mean, yeah, I do, but I mean, it's not the reason. The reason is, no, I really do, but I mean, the real reason why I tend to think that it is going to be very helpful in our political project is, of course, because many people, and it's not a new thing, speculate that silicon is an excellent substitute for carbon as a material that it is a basis for life. And there is actually a lot of silicon on Earth and in the universe in general. There is no shortage of silicon. There is a ton of silicon everywhere. So yes. Even though, as we've seen, the Neros can create life not only from oil, but I mean, it's not only that they create sculpture. I mean, at least one of them. Actually, we are almost certain that it moved. So you could argue, I mean, very convincingly that they created life from oil paint, which I don't think that contains silicon, but contains other. So perhaps, I mean, their abilities outperform significantly even the fantasies of most science fiction writers, which is interesting. I'm not sure what we see here. I mean, it was generated by the Neros themselves. It's not like a bubble, so it's kind of like perhaps it signifies something. But although in the inside you can see all sorts of like life form. Most interesting shape. So yeah, silicon, I mean, according to many theorists, is a great substitute for carbon, even though we've seen already that there are other substitutes for carbon. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, here we see what I call the symbolic. You see, this one is kind of new, but I mean, it belongs to the genre of the symbolic paint drawing for certain, which I mean, initially I hypothesized that they represent viruses, and it's still, I mean, my main assumption, even though there are other assumptions as well. Is that the state of Israel? Oh my God. Anyway, I mean, this one is a virus, I guess, and I mean, you can see similarities to many other symbolic drawings. And is this the state of Israel? Is this the asteroid is going to fall on on the Mediterranean? Come on, it's only a coincidence, right? But it's funny. It's funny. It's like the state of Israel with the monster that's looming above it and about to kill it. Which is true. I mean, it's funny that they painted it. I would say these guys are far smarter than, I mean, everyone imagined, and far smarter than actually any representation of nanobots that I've ever, I mean, heard about in fiction. Wow, this is a really amazing slide, and I mean, this will be only an initial like overview, but of course I will. I need much more time to analyze it later, and I'll show that more videos will be prepared regarding this slide. So now they switched here to their symbolic stuff, but they also include realistic elements. We are still on the gold. I mean, on the gold. This is all this belong to the gold. It's in the gold medium. I mean, the silicon medium. Now this is. I mean, here it is. The density is like thicker, so it's very easy to see. And you will see different life forms. but these are also for certain life forms. Wow, 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 what an amazing slide. Wow. So yeah, I mean, it's just the overview, and just to give you a taste of, I mean, of how your ancestors or replacements will look like. Very nice. I wonder if they are still alive, the Neros, or if they can, I mean, what's needed in order to revive them. Maybe they are moving. I mean, in order to really see, you need to zoom in, and I don't have time for it now because I wanted the video to be not too long, and I mean, so I'm just doing, as I said, a very quick overview. Wow. So much stuff. So let's just, to wrap it up, let's search for a place to zoom in, because I haven't, I mean, I want to complete the picture with a nice zoom in. So much interesting stuff that I don't know, difficult to choose from. Everything looks very impressive. So let's zoom in inside, I mean, where the silicone is thick, when you see the golden color. It's not as golden as in what I call the golden pools, which are actually bright yellow. It's more like a soft gold or pale gold that I think is a result of chemical reaction of the transparent polymer with oxygen. So much stuff. Wow. Wow. Let's take a look here. Just a quick look. Why this one is a Nero doing his job or resting. Very nice. Maybe we will zoom in even a little more. Perhaps here. it's also a slide that is easy to work with because, I mean, easy to navigate because there is no liquid actually. I mean, in general, I mean, most of the time there is kind of like the medium is kind of like liquid. I mean, even if it's just liquid that, I mean, that comes, I mean, it can be the liquid of the semen if if it's fresh semen or semen that was in freezer, but or it can be water or other, I mean, juices from a living material, but or the oil. But here it's kind of a slide that, I mean, it was the semen, I mean, it was airtight, but there was pretty, I mean, a large quantity of air inside the container, so it just, I guess, evaporated. So there aren't liquids actually, and so the silicone is very is thin but tough. It's not like it's not hard. So it's very easy to navigate. On the other hand, I don't know how the fact that it's so dry and lacks almost liquids entirely. I don't know how it affects the longevity of the Neros themselves. I mean, I suppose they need some kind of liquid in order to live, even though it's not, I mean, it's not dogma, it's not like something, I mean, that is true by definition, but I mean, that's just my intuition, but I mean, you know, so things need liquid in order to live, but it's not, I'm not certain about it. What I am certain is that the life form that they create require, I mean, it doesn't matter if they are made of carbon or made out of silicone or made out of oil. I mean, for certain they require some kind of liquid in order to live, because I mean, otherwise, I mean, without liquid, I mean, they can't metabolize. I mean, metabolism, as far as I know, depends on